World War II was defined by numerous critical battles that eventually determined its final outcome. These clashes involved millions of soldiers, advanced technology, and strategic brilliance. Key engagements halted expansionist ambitions, highlighted air superiority, and demonstrated the importance of intelligence and preparation. Occurring across diverse terrains, from North African deserts to the frozen Russian front, each battle brought unique challenges and showcased the resilience of the forces involved. Fierce urban fighting, expansive naval engagements, and grueling conditions underscored the war's brutality. The victories and defeats in these pivotal encounters shaped the strategic direction of the war. Let's peer into history at some of the most significant battles of World War II. Invasion of Poland. The invasion of Poland, beginning on September 1, 1939, marked the start of World War II. Germany's blitzkrieg tactics, characterized by rapid and coordinated attacks using infantry, tanks, and air power, overwhelmed Polish defenses. The significance of this battle lies in its demonstration of blitzkrieg's effectiveness and the subsequent division of Poland between Germany and the Soviet Union following their secret non-aggression pact. The invasion led to Britain and France declaring war on Germany, formally initiating the conflict. The swift German victory in Poland, achieved within weeks, resulted in approximately 66,000 Polish military deaths and marked a shift in military strategy and the brutal occupation policies that followed. The invasion set the stage for Germany's aggressive expansion across Europe and highlighted the need for new defensive strategies among the Allies. Battle of Midway. The Battle of Midway, occurring from June 4th to June 7th, 1942, was a pivotal naval battle in the Pacific Theater. The United States Navy under Admirals Nimitz, Spruance, and Fletcher successfully ambushed and defeated an attacking fleet of the Imperial Japanese Navy led by Admiral Yamamoto. This battle was significant because it halted Japanese expansion in the Pacific and marked a turning point in the naval war. The U.S. Navy's victory resulted in the destruction of 4 Japanese aircraft carriers, which were the backbone of Japan's naval power. With these losses, Japan's offensive capabilities were significantly diminished, and the United States gained strategic advantage. The battle demonstrated the effectiveness of aircraft carriers and intelligence in modern naval warfare, as U.S. codebreakers had deciphered Japanese plans, allowing the U.S. to set up the ambush. Battle of Normandy. The Battle of Normandy, aka D-Day, began on June 6, 1944, and lasted until August 1944. This massive Allied invasion of Nazi-occupied France involved the landing of 156,000 American, British, and Canadian forces on 5 beachheads along the Normandy coast. The significance of D-Day lies in its role as the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. It opened up a second front in Western Europe, which forced Germany to fight a 2-front war against the advancing Soviet forces in the east and the Allies in the west. The battle led to the liberation of Paris and eventually all of France, paving the way for the Allied advance into Germany. The scale of the operation was immense, with over 10,000 casualties on the first day alone, and it demonstrated the Allies' capability to coordinate large-scale amphibious assaults, logistics, and combined arms operations. Battle of the Bulge. The Battle of the Bulge, fought from December 16, 1944 to January 25, 1945, was the last major German offensive on the Western Front. Launched through the densely forested Ardennes region of Belgium, Luxembourg, and France, the Germans aimed to split the Allied lines and capture the vital Belgian port of Antwerp. The battle's significance lies in the Allied forces' ability to withstand the surprise attack and eventually launch a counteroffensive that depleted German resources and morale. The battle was marked by brutal winter conditions and high casualties, with around 100,000 German and 90,000 American troops either killed, wounded, or missing. The failure of this offensive ensured that Germany could not stop the Allies' advance into the heart of Germany, hastening the end of the war in Europe. Battle of Britain. The Battle of Britain, lasting from July 10th to October 31st, 1940, was a significant air campaign waged by the German Luftwaffe against the United Kingdom. The goal was to gain air superiority in preparation for a planned invasion of Britain, Operation Sea Lion. The battle was significant because it marked the first major defeat of Hitler's military forces and demonstrated the importance of air power. The Royal Air Force, RAF, despite being outnumbered, managed to defend Britain through superior tactics, technology such as radar, and the resilience of its pilots and ground crews. The battle resulted in approximately 1,500 RAF and 2,600 Luftwaffe aircraft being destroyed. The failure of the Luftwaffe to achieve air superiority forced Germany to postpone and eventually cancel the invasion plans, keeping Britain in the war as a critical base for Allied operations. Battle of El Alamein. The Battle of El Alamein, fought from October 23 to November 11, 1942 in the deserts of North Africa, was a turning point in the Western Desert Campaign. Led by British General Bernard Montgomery, the Allied forces decisively defeated the German-Italian army commanded by General Erwin Rommel. The battle's significance lies in its role in halting the Axis advance towards the Suez Canal, a crucial route for Allied supplies and oil. The victory at El Alamein boosted Allied morale and marked the beginning of the end for Axis presence in North Africa. It also paved the way for the Allied invasion of Italy. The battle involved around 200,000 Allied and 100,000 Axis troops, with significant casualties on both sides, and demonstrated the effectiveness of combined arms tactics and superior logistics. Battle of Moscow. The Battle of Moscow, fought between October 1941 and January 1942, was a critical defensive effort by the Soviet Union to protect its capital from the advancing German forces. The battle's significance lies in the Soviet Union's successful defense against Operation Barbarossa, which was Hitler's plan to conquer the Soviet Union swiftly. The harsh Russian winter, fierce Soviet resistance, and logistical challenges faced by the Germans contributed to the Soviet victory. The battle marked the first major defeat of the German army and boosted Soviet morale. It involved over 3 million soldiers and resulted in significant casualties, with over 1 million Soviet and 500,000 German troops killed, wounded, or missing. The failure to capture Moscow forced the Germans to fight a prolonged war on the Eastern Front, stretching their resources and contributing to their eventual defeat. Battle of Kursk. The Battle of Kursk, fought from July 5 to August 23, 1943, was the largest tank battle in history and a significant clash between German and Soviet forces on the Eastern Front. The battle was significant because it marked the last major offensive attempted by the German army in the East and ended in a decisive Soviet victory. The Germans aimed to encircle and destroy a large number of Soviet forces in the Kursk salient, but the Soviets had prepared extensive defenses and were aware of the German plans. The battle involved over 2 million soldiers, 6,000 tanks, and 4,000 aircraft. The German defeat at Kursk weakened their offensive capabilities and allowed the Soviets to launch a series of counter-offensives, which eventually led to the liberation of Soviet territory and the advance into Eastern Europe. The battle demonstrated the effectiveness of Soviet military strategy and the importance of intelligence and preparation. Battle of Guadalcanal. The Battle of Guadalcanal, fought from August 7, 1942 to February 9, 1943, was a critical campaign in the Pacific Theater. The United States aimed to capture the strategically important island of Guadalcanal from Japanese control to secure supply routes and prepare for further offensives. The battle was significant because it marked the first major offensive by Allied forces against the Japanese Empire and shifted the balance of power in the Pacific. The intense and brutal fighting involved land, sea, and air battles with significant casualties on both sides. Approximately 31,000 Japanese and 7,100 Allied troops were killed. The victory at Guadalcanal halted Japanese expansion and began a series of Allied offensives that would eventually lead to Japan's defeat. The battle demonstrated the importance of combined arms operations and the resilience of Allied forces in challenging conditions. Battle of Stalingrad. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought from August 23, 1942 to February 2, 1943, was a critical turning point in World War II on the Eastern Front. This brutal battle took place in the Soviet city of Stalingrad, now Volgograd, and saw the Soviet Red Army defending against the German Wehrmacht's attempt to capture the city. The battle was significant for several reasons. It marked the end of Germany's advances into Eastern Europe and Russia. It was one of the bloodiest battles in history with an estimated 2 million casualties, and it symbolized the relentless Soviet resistance and their capability to mount successful counteroffensives. The German defeat at Stalingrad weakened their forces and morale significantly, shifting the balance of power in favor of the Allies on the Eastern Front. The battle's outcome also demonstrated the importance of urban warfare and the resilience of the Soviet defense, ultimately contributing to the downfall of Nazi Germany. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below.